Join us this week as we drive into the Drakensberg Mountains to Witsieshoek Lodge. Get ready for adventures filled with mountain picnics, clay pigeon shooting, exhilarating helicopter rides, and an overnight hike up to Tugela Falls, one of the highest waterfalls on the planet. We'll conquer chain ladders to reach our campsite, take a refreshing dip in the Tugela River, and wake up for a sunrise that's simply unbelievable. Join us for a thrilling mountain escapade you won't want to miss. Like and subscribe to follow along with our top-line travels. This morning we have woken up early and we are in our hire car. We're heading to the northern Drakensberg, up into the mountains, and it's a 5-hour drive.
Stocked up on some snacks and audiobooks, so ready to rock and roll.
We left Durban en route to Witsieshoek Mountain Lodge, which was a super scenic drive through the countryside. We followed the main routes to Harrismith and from there took the R712 in the direction of Golden Gate and Clarence. Take the R57 and continue straight through the township.
Means driving on into the township.
We're coming to the end of the township now. I think we still have about 2 or 3 kilometers to go, and it's the first time that we've really seen the poverty in this country, and it was really confronting. The township was massive. It was kilometers and kilometers long, something that I haven't been exposed to yet, and neither has Brad, but we have been told about it, and it's pretty full on the way that the locals live and a lot of South Africa lives. It's very different to what we know from back home, and it's crazy. Look at this. Look at the road. That is just insane. Look at this.
It's all washed off. Washed away. Check the mirrors, she's all clear.
Crazy. We got to the entry of where we go into the national park and onwards to our lodge. We are making our way to the lodge now. We can see it in the distance and it looks so beautiful. Witsieshoek Mountain Lodge is situated in the northern Drakensberg Mountains at the foot of the magnificent Sentinel Peak. The lodge looks across the rolling foothills of Royal Natal into the face of the amphitheatre. This is our lodge. Little bathroom and our bedroom with the most amazing views. So we're currently sitting inside and we were about to tuck into the cheese board that I created, but then we decided, you know what, it's much better if we go outside. So we're gonna move the whole setup and go and sit outside on the hillside and look over that view. The things we do for a picnic in the mountains. Cannot complain with a little afternoon lunch space, and that view is unbeatable. Well, we couldn't resist. We pulled all the furniture out of our lodge and onto the cliffside, and now we are having lunch with some wine overlooking this insane view. Brad and I have decided to go for a little walk around the surrounding areas near the lodge. There is a beautiful scenic walk along this cliffside. We are literally the only ones out here. It's like being the only people on the planet. Amazing views. You don't get this every day.
So the track we're on now on our first day here up in the Drakensberg is the border trail separating the Free State here, which is on my right, from KwaZulu-Natal, which is on my left. And then we have the beautiful Drakensberg up in the background with Sentinel Peak just there.
Border trail is about 5 kilometers long. It's 5 p.m. now and we've done about half of it, and it's honestly amazing. Rolling hills and beautiful scenery all around. We've just seen horses, wild horses on the hillside.
We're going to traverse down the mountainside to try and get a closer shot.
Witsieshoek is the trailhead to Sentinel Peak hike and offers 80 kilometers of hiking trails in the surrounding areas. Sitting at the cafe having a cup of coffee and a rusk before we hit the road. Excited for this hike. We are heading all the way up to Tugela Falls today. We organised our hike with the Drakensberg hiker who provided us with all of our overnight camping gear as well as our meals. We packed additional warm clothes, hiking gear and all of our camera gear ready to go.
So we've gone with a package which includes us carrying our own luggage as well as porters that are helping us carry some of our other camping gear. So they're getting all set up and packing their bags.
Witsieshoek Lodge, where we're staying, has a shuttle bus that takes us up to the Sentinel Peak car park because the track is full of rocks. You actually need a four-wheel drive to get up there. So we're going to jump in the back of the bucky, take a ride up. All right, we're putting in four-wheel drive, lock these diffs on the old classic Hiluxy. Locked, ready to go.
We paid for our overnight camping permits at the Witsieshoek Lodge reception. Then we were on the road. The drive up from the lodge to Sentinel Peak car park is a rocky one, and it took about an hour, but the local driver that took us up made it all worthwhile. He was such a legend, and soon we were at the trailhead.
Made it to Sentinel Peak car park after a bumpy ride. And that's our path up the mountain, crisscrossing up into the clouds.
Before we do the massive hike, we have to sign off so that we don't get lost, or in case we do, they know where we are. So we've started the first few steps into the Drakensberg. This mountain range is also known as the Dragon Mountains, and it stretches 1,000 kilometers through South Africa, Lesotho and Swaziland.
Phew.
So we started over there, made our way up the switchback.
We've made it to lunch right underneath Sentinel Peak.
How cool is that?
And check out this view behind us.
We're literally on our way up into heaven. Finishing lunch, and now that we've slowed down to a halt, it is getting a lot colder. We are ready to hit the road again because damn, we're starting to freeze. We've just been told by our guide Stu that there are a lot of locals in the area that come from the surrounding townships and scout the mountains for horses, goats, sheep, donkey, anything they can find, and essentially steal them and take them back to where they originally are from. Bit of lunch for the crew. Finished lunch and now we're back on the trail, heading further and further up. We've been told we're about 1.5 hours to 2 hours away from the chain ladders, which we have to climb up to get to the peak, which will take us to the waterfall. Following our guide Stu, he's a legend. He's done this for 12 years. So the hike up to Tugela, you can go 2 ways. One, you take the chain ladder, which we're gonna do. Otherwise, you go up this gully and it looks treacherous. Definitely not gonna do that. That just looks silly. You'll be on your hands and knees most of the way. So we're gonna keep going on the nice paved path and get the beautiful views and take the quick ladders up that mountain. The trail is either rocks or paved. Majority of it actually is paved. I can't imagine how they trekked all of these bricks up here to make this path, but it makes it pretty easy as you walk along the cliffside. This is seriously unreal. And the sun's starting to come out.
So epic. What the hell?
There is a bit of altitude though. I feel like the more I talk, the more puffed I get. Holy, look how gorgeous that is. Oh my gosh. That is so amazing. So you can do this hike up to Tugela Falls in a day, but I wouldn't recommend it because you never know what the weather's gonna do. If you do the night trip, you also get that second day opportunity and the sunrise, so I think it's definitely worth it. We've made it to the ladders.
Here goes nothing.
This ladder's freezing cold.
Once you get up that first rung of ladders, there's actually a second set. They're a bit smaller and the ladders aren't too bad. I mean, you've just got to get out of your head.
Just keep looking up and on you go.
Climbing this chain ladder. Wild. Made it to the very top, which is a massive summit.
It is so flat. We've been so lucky. The visibility is awesome. The clouds are high, the sun is out, so very, very lucky. Can't wait to get a look at those waterfalls.
It's taken us about 4 hours, but we've stopped for lunch, we've stopped for photos, about 6 kilometers all the way up here, and we've done about 700 meters elevation gain. It's just coming up to Tugela River, which starts up there and flows all the way down here to the stream and over the falls.
Following the creek all the way to the falls. We're a few minutes out from the view that we've been waiting for. Porters have gone ahead and they've actually already started making camp for us. So we'll arrive and it will be all ready to go. The sun's out, which means we've got our kinis on and we are heading to go and swim in Tugela Falls.
It's currently about 8 degrees up here, and we've made the decision to go for a swim.
Found a spot to jump in. Here goes nothing. I'm getting in. 3, 2, 1. So good.
Swimming in the world's tallest waterfall. Time to get in the sun, I think.
Brad and I had to do that. It was on the bucket list and it was definitely worth it. The sun's out so we can warm up now. Got dressed and warmed up and now we're gonna go ahead and get some nice warm coffee.
Still a bit fresh.
Yeah, it is fresh.
Not gonna lie.
But we're clean, which is nice. Now we're gonna head to the tippy top of this cliff face and look back onto the falls. Unreal. Brad and I are literally on top of the world right now. Tugela Falls is one of the highest waterfall systems in the world and it drops 948 meters. To see it in real life is really something else.
So beautiful, hey?
Yeah.
Wow. How lucky are we?
Literally in heaven. We woke up before everybody else. Everyone's just sleeping in their tents, but we decided we had to come out here because we put our head out the tent and thought, oh my gosh, it looks so amazing.
And we're back in the tent. We went out too early.
And it's too cold out there.
It's so windy and it's too cold, so we're back in the tent in our warm sleeping bags to warm up, and then we're going to go back out when the sun is actually up.
Yeah.
How amazing is this?
Morning from paradise.
Good morning from the top of the world. Watching sunrise. It's windy as you can probably hear. It's freezing up here, but it's worth every minute as the view just gets better and better, as you can see behind us. The sun's peeking through the side of the mountain, displaying all these rays over the land below us.
It's beautiful.
So good.
The whole time I'm so worried I'm going to fall off this cliff. He's holding me on like a leash.
Well, because it's so windy up here, who knows what the wind can do.
I know.
Big gust and you're not ready for it. See you later, mate.
I go like 5 meters from the edge. Get back!
Brad is sorting coffee.
had to fill our water bottles up so that we're ready to go. Day 2. We are a little bit more rugged up today because the winds are up and it's quite cold.
Making our way back to the chain ladders, you got to look for that rock pile. Who needs coffee when you start your morning with a 50-meter chain ladder down the side of a cliff? These views. Woohoo! Well done, babes. Nailed it. This here is the amphitheatre. So it starts here just behind me from Tugela Falls, all the way around there to Devil's Peak, I think, or Devil's Tooth Peak. And then right behind me up here, Sentinel Peak.
I always like downhill better because you're actually facing out into the view and not up the mountain. Coming to the end of our 2-day hike up to Tugela Falls, and what an experience that was. It took us roughly 4 hours up and 4 hours down, and that was us taking our time. Highly recommend using the Drakensberg hiker. This trip was so seamless, the porters were amazing, and it just made everything so easy and enjoyable.
We're heading back to Witsieshoek Lodge now for another night.
We are out on the rolling hills overlooking the Drakensberg. Our 4x4s are parked up and we are setting up some clay pigeon shooting with my uncles. I've never shot a shotgun, so here goes nothing, but they're going to show us how it's done and we're going to give it our best go.
Got the launcher hooked up to the car battery to throw the clays. So the cables weren't quite long enough, so we've just taken the car battery out. Perfect.
Surely, it's so bright you can't miss, right?
We'll see about that.
Got these bad boys in because when that trigger is pulled, it is damn loud. Let's go. Nice. All done and dusted, and that was honestly one of the funnest things I've done. And we managed to get quite a few clays at the end.
So good.
Yeah, so much fun.
150 rounds.
Yeah, so good. We are about to take my uncle's helicopter up into the sky. We are still in the berg, and it is time to go up and above those mountains. I've just arrived, and they are about to land down. Made it into the copper, and now we are headed up and away.
It's our last sunset at the Drakensberg, and it's a beauty.
On our next episode, join us as we journey along South Africa's breathtaking garden route. Our expedition kicks off with a quest for elephants at Addo Elephant National Reserve. We then hit the beaches of Jeffreys Bay for some surfing. We get close and personal with some migrating whales and have an underwater encounter diving with sharks. We conquer one of the world's highest bungee jumps and explore the pristine landscapes of Tugela National Park, all making this road trip one unforgettable blend of wildlife, extreme sports, and natural wonders. So buckle up for the ultimate garden route experience.